Hello, good morning. I am Divyendu Sai. Today I am going to present my online lecture of class 8 chemistry part. First of all, I will discuss about the syllabus of chemistry part of class 8. There are 5 chapters of chemistry part. Chapter 3, the name of the chapter 3 is synthetic fibers and plastics, and chapter 4 it is materials, metals and non-metals. And chapter 5 is related to coal and petroleum, and chapter 6 it is combustion and flame, and the last chapter of the book, that is chapter 18, it is pollution of air and water. These are 5 chapters of chemistry part. Today I will start about the first chapter of chemistry part, that is chapter 3, synthetic fibers and plastics. First of all, we should know about the fiber. What is fiber? Fiber is nothing but a natural or artificial thin thread-like polymer substance from which any type of clothes can be prepared. Now we can see the examples, that is different types of fiber: cotton fiber, that is wool, and that is jute also is there. Now from the definition there is a term polymer is present, thin thread like polymer. Now question will come, what is polymer? Now polymer is a Greek word, and here poly and mer, two terms are there. Poly means many and mer means part or unit, that means many unit or many part. It is polymer. Now the definition of polymer is the chain-like very big molecule which is formed by joining a large number of repeating unit of small molecules is called polymer. You can see from this picture that it is a polymer molecule. Here different monomer units are joined together to form a large molecule, and it is called polymer molecule. And if you cut one part, it will get monomer or one unit. So this is monomer and it joins together to form polymer. Now fibers. There are two types of fibers. One is natural fibers and the other one is synthetic fibers. What is natural fibers? Now the fiber we got from nature. That means it may be plant source or animal source directly. That is called natural fibers. What are the examples of natural fibers? Cotton, jute, wool and silk. These are natural fibers. We have to study about the synthetic fibers. What is synthetic fiber? The man-made fibers produced from chemical substances in laboratory or industry is called synthetic fiber. That means you cannot get synthetic fibers from nature. You have to synthesize it in the laboratory or industry, that is called synthetic fibers. What are the examples? Rayon, nylon, polyester and acrylic. These are the examples of synthetic fibers. Now first we will study about rayon. You have seen the picture of rayon. It is shiny like thread like molecules or polymer molecules is there. Now these are the characteristics of rayon. Rayon was first man-made or synthetic fiber which was prepared in the laboratory. It was first developed in the late 19th century, and it was prepared by using some natural material and some chemical material. What is natural material? That is cellulose of wood pulp is treated with different chemicals to form rayon. That's why it is called semi synthetic fiber. Why it is semi synthetic fiber? Now it is not totally synthetic fiber because here natural materials also used and chemical materials also used. That's why it is semi synthetic fiber, and it is also called cellulosic fiber because cellulose of wood pulp is used to prepare rayon. Now rayon is used as the substitute of natural silk. That's why it is called artificial silk, because it is shiny like silk. Made it can be used for making clothes like silk. You can see the rayon made dresses, it looks shiny. And now the properties of rayon fiber: it is very soft and shiny. It is cheaper than the natural silk. That's why it is used common most in nowadays. And it is comfortable to wear, and it can be dyed in different colors. You can see from the examples of pictures that here are different colors variety is there. And it absorbs also moisture. That's why you can wear it comfortably. Now where it is used: it is used for making clothes like shirt, dress, jacket, sportswear, ties, etc. You can also use rayon in home furnishing products like bed sheet, blanket, carpet. And it can also be used in industrially, in medicinal industry, that is medical surgery products and tire cord, etc. Now we will go to the next artificial fiber, that is nylon. You can see from the picture, it is a nylon rope and it is a parachute. Now what are the characteristics of nylon? The nylon was first fully synthetic fiber. Here no natural materials is used. All the materials used are chemicals, laboratory chemicals. And so it is the first full synthetic fiber which is prepared in the laboratory by using raw material like coal, water, air, etc., and different chemicals also. And it was manufactured by the DuPont company first in USA in 1939. And nylon was the first non-cellulosic polymer, because here no cellulose of plant source is used. Now what are the properties of nylon fiber? Now it is very strong. We know that nylon rope are very strong, even stronger than steel wire of same thickness. And it is also light in weight. It has the most common elastic property, and it is easy to wash and does not wrinkle. It absorbs less water and dries out quickly. Now what are the uses of nylon? Now it can be used for preparing swimwear, raincoat, umbrella, hat, socks, leggings, curtain, carpet, rope of rock climbing, car seat belt, also parachutes, fishing net, etc. So nylon is a very common synthetic fiber which is used in various way in day-to-day life. Now third synthetic fiber, it is polyester. You can see from the picture that most of the jersey of the cricket, football or any game player wears polyester jersey. The jersey made up of polyester material. Now what is polyester material? The characteristics of polyester: polyester is a synthetic fiber which is prepared by the ester molecule by the polymerization reaction. Example is terylene and PET. The full form of PET is polyethylene terephthalate. Here terylene fiber is used to make fabric. You have seen from the jersey that there are so many fabrics is used. This fabrics is prepared by the polyester material, and different polyester fabric materials also prepared by the mixing this polyester with different fibers to make varieties fabric. Now what are the properties of polyester? It is very strong, it is stretchable, durable and does not shrink. It does not wrinkle easily. Okay. Now, and it remains crisp. It is easy to wash and It also absorbs less water and dries faster. Now, what are the uses of polyester? It is widely used as dress material like sari, shirt, pant, etc. It is also mixed with cotton to make polycot, and it is also mixed with wool to make polywool. And polycot is used for different dress material. Polywool also used for different dress material, and it is used also pillow stuffing, and PET, polyethylene terephthalate, is used for making different bottles and storage container. Now I will discuss about the fourth and last synthetic fiber, that is acrylic. You have seen that the socks, sweaters, blanket, these are mostly used in winter season. That's why it is like a wool material. Acrylic is a wool material. So what are the characteristics of acrylic? Acrylic is a synthetic fiber. It is made from polymer of polyacrylonitrile, and acrylic is used as an alternative of wool material. That's why it is also called artificial wool. Now what are the properties? The properties of acrylic: it is soft. We know that sweater, blanket, they are very soft material, and the weight of the material is very lightweight. It remains warm in the winter season. We know it has a lot of color variety. We have seen from the picture. It is cheaper than the natural wool, and it is durable and affordable. It is resistant to weathering. Now where it is used? It is used to prepare sweaters, shawls, socks, blankets, etc. for mostly winter season. So these are four different types of synthetic fibers. Now we will discuss about the advantages of synthetic fibers. What are the advantages? The synthetic fibers, we have seen, absorbs less water and dry up quickly. So we can use the synthetic fiber made dresses which can be dried very easily, and synthetic fibers are less expensive because it is synthetic. We can prepare it with low cost. That's why it is less expensive. And synthetic fibers are resistant to chemicals. It is synthetic, that's why it cannot corrode by the chemicals easily. Synthetic fibers are durable and elastic. It is long lasting material. That's why it is durable, and it is elastic. It has elastic properties in nylon and polyacrylonitrile and polyester also. It do not wrinkle easily, so it is easy to maintain. We know that if you use the natural cotton material, it always wrinkles and get quenched, but the synthetic fiber made dresses do not wrinkle easily, so it is easy to maintain. Now these are the advantages, but there are some disadvantages also of synthetic fibers. What are the disadvantages? The synthetic fibers melt on heating. Why it is disadvantage? Because if you wear a synthetic fiber made dress, and if you put fire, or if it catches fire, then it will be melted and it will stuck with the body, and body will be burned easily. That's why it is not advantageous to wear synthetic fiber made dresses. And synthetic fibers do not absorb sweat easily, which make them uncomfortable to wear in the summer. We know that if you use cotton shirt or pant, it can easily absorb sweat, and this sweat get evaporated and feel makes a feeling of body cool. But the synthetic fiber made dresses do not absorb water. That's why if you use it in the summer season, you cannot be comfortable, because there will be no evaporation of the sweat. And the third disadvantage is synthetic clothes do not allow the skin to breathe because the air is not passing through the synthetic fiber made dresses. That's why the skin cannot eject the carbon dioxide from the body easily. These are the disadvantages of synthetic fibers. Now, the last point of the synthetic fibers, how can you identify different types of fibers? Now, you can identify cotton by burning. If you burn cotton, it will form ashes and smells like burning paper. If you burn silk and wool, it will release a hair, burning hair or feathers like male. And if you use polycot, how do you identify polycot? Now, if you burn polycot, it will form a cloudy smoke and smell like chemicals. In this way, you can identify different types of fibers. Now, fibers part is over. I will start about the plastics. Now, you can see from this two picture there are so many plastic materials which we can use in our daily life. Now, what are the characteristics of plastics? Plastic is a polymer material. We have discussed about the polymer earlier, and plastic also a polymer material like synthetic fiber. Plastic articles are available in all possible shapes and size. You have seen from the example or picture that there are so many shapes are there of plastic material. It is easily moldable. What does it mean? Now, it can be shaped in any form. You can form any shape of the plastic material by heating. It can be recycled, reused, colored and melted. The plastic material can be recycled. You can heat it, it will be form a molten substance and you can shape it in any way. It can be reused and it can be colored. You have seen from the example that there are so many color plastic material is there. It can be melted by heating also. It can be rolled into sheets also. It is durable and affordable. Why it is durable and affordable? Because there is no chemical attacks of plastic material. Plastic materials is mostly inert material, so it is durable and the cost is very low. That's why it is affordable also. It can made into wires. We know that there is a coating of electrical wire with a plastic material. Now, what are the useful properties of plastics? A plastic do not react with chemicals. Chemicals cannot react with plastic material. That's why it can use for a long time. Plastic is lightweight. Its weight is very light, so you can easily transfer one plastic material from one place to another place, and it is also strong. It is durable because we can use it for a long time. It is inexpensive. The price of the plastic material is low, and plastics are poor conductors of heat and electricity. Plastics are mostly inert material, so it cannot conduct heat and electricity. That's why it can be used in our day to day life. Now, classification of plastics. How many types of plastics are there? There are two types of plastics. One is thermoplastics and another one is thermosetting plastics. Thermoplastic, a plastic that can be molded into different shapes and softened repeatedly by heating, is called thermoplastics. On the other hand, a thermosetting plastic, a plastic which does not become soft and cannot be molded on heating, is called thermosetting plastic. So these are the difference between thermoplastics and thermosetting plastic. Thermoplastic can be molded by heating. Thermosetting plastic cannot be molded by heating. Thermoplastic can be softened by heating. Thermosetting plastic cannot be softened by heating. The examples of thermoplastics is polythene and polyvinyl chloride. In short form, it is called PVC. We know that PVC pipe is used in day-to-day life, and these thermoplastics are used for making toys, combs, pipes, food containers, chairs, bottle, plastic bags, and also a variety of examples are there. And thermosetting plastics, mostly bakelite and melamine. We know that bakelite, it is a poor conductor, that's why it is used for making electrical switches and handles of utensils. And melamine, it has the unique property to resist heat and fire, so it is used for making floor tiles, lab coat and kitchenware. Now we can investigate about the difference property of thermoplastic and thermosetting plastic, why they are different in properties. You can see it from their structural differences. What are the structural differences? Now, the thermoplastic, the polymer chain is linear arrangement. You can see that one polymer chain is not connected with another, that's why it is linear arrangement. And for thermosetting plastic, it is cross linked arrangement. The polymer chains are interconnected with each other, that's why it is called cross linked arrangement of polymer chain. These are the structural differences. Now why they show different properties? Now if you heat a thermoplastics, the bonding between the polymer chain is very weak because they are not connected with each other. Now when you are heating, the polymer chain structure formation is disrupted, that's why they get softened or they can be molded by heating. On the other hand, if you heat a thermosetting plastic, they are strong bonding interaction between the polymer chains are present. That's why if you heat the polymer chain, it cannot be disrupted. That's why it remains same, so it does not become soft or cannot be molded on heating. These are the basic differences between thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. Now we should investigate about the plastic material and the relation with environment. We know that today it is a big problem of using plastic material for our environment. Why it is? Plastics are non-biodegradable. What does it mean? A material which is not easily decomposed by the natural process. What are the natural process? The action of virus, bacteria, which degrade the materials in environment. So these virus, bacteria cannot degrade plastic material easily. That's why it is non-biodegradable. And plastic bag takes 1,000 years to decompose completely, so it cannot be easily decomposed. It can be gathered in the soil or water, that's why it causes environmental pollution and environmental damage. If you burn plastic material, it will release poisonous gases and fumes which causes air pollution, and this polluted air makes suffocation to humans and other animals also. Also plastic waste mixed with soil and it cannot be degraded, so it is accumulated in the soil which makes soil pollution, which makes fertilization less fertilized, which makes soil less fertilized. That's why soil gets polluted. It also mixed with water body in through river, it goes to the sea and polluted the water of sea, which causes water pollution. And in this way the plastic material today, it is a threat to human life, animal life and also aquatic life. Here from this picture you can see that a cow is eating some food material from the plastic. This plastic also goes to the stomach of the cows and it affects its body. So plastic materials are hazardous and it causes different problems to the environment. So how can it be solved or how it can be overcome? Now there is a 5R principle by managing plastic waste. What are these 5R principle? First one is reduce. We have to reduce the use of plastic material first. Second one, reuse. We have to reuse again and again. We have to use it by washing or by another process. Third one is recycle. When we put the plastic materials to the garbage, we have to collect it and we have to process it and we have to recycle it to the new material and we have to use again. Recover. Fourth one is recover. We have to collect the wastage plastic material and we have to recover it. And fifth one is refuse. When there is a chance of avoiding plastic, we have to refuse plastic. In this way we can manage the plastic waste. And this picture shows the reuse or recycle process of plastic material. Now we should go for green. That means we should avoid plastic by using less plastic bags, by reusing plastic bags again and again, by using jute bags or carry cloth for shopping purpose, and we should do not throw away old plastic items to the garbage. We should recycle it. In this way we can save our environment and we can also use plastic materials. So this is all about this chapter, synthetic fibers and plastics. In the next class I will teach about the chapter 4, that is materials, metals and non-metals. Thank you all of you. See you soon.